Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Dana. I'm an astrologer, I'm a witch, and I'm your host. I wanted to talk to you about a bit of a shift in my content approach, and I'll tell you up front, I'm backing off from astrological forecast content. I want to talk more about why, and if you're not interested in why, that's okay. But for those of you who are curious, I do want to share some shifts behind the scenes that I've been really thinking a lot about. I just finished up a 12th house profection year. If you're unfamiliar with profections, it's a timing technique that can help you know what kind of themes are going to be most prevalent in a year of life. And year 35 is a 12th house year. So my birthday was in March. And I've been realizing that this last year was a lot about integration and that process of awareness and seeing the unseen that the 12th house is known for. In that reflection, I have time and again been presented with the reality that I default to forecast content. And I don't really like it. The reason I don't like it is, number one, as an anxious person, it is stressful for me to be thinking about the future like that. I do see the value of forecast content for people, and I listen to horoscopes. I listen to my Chani app every Sunday, right? I like forecast content as a listener, but to create it is always putting yourself a couple steps ahead in the future. And I do like to look at forecast content for myself, but there's something about thinking about the future and trying to make sense of it and articulate it in a forecast that I don't really love doing all the time. I don't want it to be the main thing I do. I also think, and this is a bit of a hot take, that forecast astrology is like one of the least interesting this is a really hot take actually, but one of the least interesting ways we can use astrology. Yes, it helps us learn, and yes, I use it, but I think that there are other ways to use astrology that for me are a little more important, a little more powerful. First of all, and this is how I think maybe forecast astrology could be repurposed into something a little more meaningful for me personally, and that's as a tool to use to understand what's going on right now. I really believe that a crucial ingredient to living a happy, fulfilling life is awareness. The ability to look around and be aware of the surroundings so that if they're good, you can appreciate them. And if they're not, you can do something about it. You have to first have awareness in order to do anything that's meaningful and important. So when you have that awareness and you take that action, you're living a meaningful, intentional life. And I think astrology is such a great tool for facilitating that because it helps you stay aware of the energetic context of the day. For example, I'm recording this the day after the Libra full moon. I definitely stayed with the moment better during this Libra full moon because I knew the Libra full moon was happening. I didn't need to know about it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, knowing about it stressed me out a little bit, truthfully. Being a Libra Rising, knowing that the sun is conjunct Chiron during this full moon, for example, squaring Mars. There's just a lot that looked pretty crunchy, right? Thinking about it too far in advance is not that helpful. Thinking about it as it's happening and just before really gave me the awareness to respond in a loving way to myself and to other people that I would not have had the patience to do without the foresight that astrology gave me. So just before it's happening, knowing about it is super helpful. And in that way, astrology becomes a mindfulness practice and not like gasoline to add to the fire of rumination and thought loops. Astrological anxiety is a real thing. It's something that a lot of us struggle with. And I just think astrology can be repurposed in a way that helps us be mindful and not overwhelmed and stressed out even more. We come to astrology to get that grounding. So we've got to be mindful with how we approach forecast astrology specifically. So to recap, there's nothing wrong with forecast astrology. It's not where I want to live as an astrologer and as an astrologer on the internet who has something she wants to say. I realized I was defaulting to forecast astrology because there was something like I needed to clarify about what I did want to say. If it's not forecast astrology, if I don't want to do that, what do I want to talk about? It took me back to why I started studying astrology to begin with. I was never interested in forecast astrology when I first started learning about it. I was interested in how to use your birth chart as a tool for self-reflection. And the reason I was interested in that is because, one, I had gone as far as I could go by myself doing that, and I was blown away by how helpful it was and how transformative it was for me to be able to name the experience of my inner world with the language astrology gave me. I wanted to find out all I could about astrology so that I could get really good at doing that and helping other people do that. And then, of course, as I started studying astrology, I got swept up in, okay, how do you be an astrologer on the internet? You talk about the full moon, you talk about the new moon, you talk about the eclipse, you talk about this transit, that transit. It's easy to do, and there's always more coming. So it's easy content, you would think. But again, it's not interesting to me. The way that helping someone translate their inner world is interesting to me. I want to facilitate that for people with my astrology practice, whether that is in a reading with me, whether that is them listening to my podcast / YouTube or reading something I've written. For me, astrology is an alchemizer. It transmutes darkness into light by giving language to the inner world, by helping you understand what are my strengths, what are my desires, what are my fears, what are my values. You get to decide. It's always up to you, but the chart gives you the language where you might have forgotten because you were busy paying attention to what you thought you had to do or what you should do or what society or your family wanted you to do, and you lost yourself along the way. Astrology is the ultimate tool for helping you return to yourself. And I think also give you the courage to embody that truth. Because it's one thing to know what's true for you, but it's another to live it. I think astrology can help you do both. I think it's obvious how helpful it would be in helping you reclaim your identity, your sense of self. It gives you the language through the birth chart. We can use astrology to continue the journey of self-awareness because we can see how we move in real time with the energy as it's unfolding. We get to know our birth chart better, and then we also get to know ourselves better in that way. We see how the energy of the moment manifests in reality, and then we see how we respond to it. It teaches us things about ourselves, like where we hold back, where we do too much. There's so much you can learn by simply paying attention to how you move through different energies at play. I think astrology essentially presents a complete system for living a life on your own terms, knowing what that is, and then having the awareness and the intentionality to actually do it. So that is the space that I realized forecast astrology was clogging up in my creation process. It was the quote unquote easy thing to do because it's like low hanging fruit. It's right there. Everybody wants to know about it. But what I really want to talk about, maybe less people are interested in, but I think there are people out there who are like, my life does not feel right. Something is missing and I don't know what. The thing that's missing is your spirit. It's you. It's your sense of self and your identity, your connection to yourself. And you can get it back. And astrology can not only help you get it back by knowing what the hell it even is, like having the language for it, but it can also help you execute, embody that, live it out. I think it's extremely powerful, and I'm excited to talk more about that. I do have some things that you might be interested in that will help you with that right now. You can find out about them down below. And in the meantime, let me know what you guys think about this. If you're really bummed that I'm not going to be doing a ton of forecasts anymore, I'm sorry. I will still do them here and there. I'm not swearing them off. I'm just letting everyone know this is the focus. This is where we're headed. I think some people are going to be really happy to hear this because it's very true to the original intention of what this project, Self-Help Witch, was all about. In fact, I meant to say this earlier in the episode, my original name for the podcast was after the tower, like the tower in tarot. I wanted to talk about what you do after you realize I have to blow up my life, or my life has been blown up. What do I do now? And in many ways, that's still what this project is all about. I want to help people who want to reclaim their lives, whether they're at the very beginning where they're like, something's wrong and I don't know what, or they have already made the leap and they're trying to put the pieces back together and rebuild. Astrology can help you on both ends of that spectrum and everywhere in between. And I would love to support you. Thanks for being here. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.